Do you believe in synchronicity? Well, I've been approached, let's say cruise, by a lot of guys younger than me. A lot of them in their mid-20s. And I'm very flattered, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm into older men. And now since I'm an older man, do I take a chance on fooling around or get into a relationship with a younger guy? So that was on my mind. And then I was cruising Instagram and cruising TikToks, and I noticed there were videos on what they call age gap relationships. There are a lot of gay gap relationships. And I saw these videos of men in their 60s and 70s and having an affair. I should say relationship, look like they was having relationships with younger men. And they was putting these relationships, making videos of relationships and putting it on Instagram and TikTok. So it got me to thinking, is there any value in getting involved with a younger man? My name is Eric, and welcome to the craziness that lives inside my head. Let me give you a little background. When I was in my 20s, I was into older men. I found older men more relaxed and more loving, let's say. And I just found them very interesting. Guys my age, when I was my first older guy, I was 21. He didn't believe I was 21 because he didn't want to fool around with me. So I had to prove to him that I was 21, my driver's license. And then, so we had a little ride of a relationship. I don't hate to say relationship. We dated, let's say, for 4 months. And, but I don't want to get into that. I want to get into the part that I was always attracted to older men. I was 21. He was in his mid-30s. And I at the time, didn't find guys my age, especially guys younger than me. I wasn't really interested in them. They were so childish, I thought. So childish, so immature. And I wanted someone who was steady. Put it this way, I wanted someone who had a job, had an apartment, and a car. And I noticed that the only time, I shouldn't say that's why it made me interested in older men, but I did find that by an older man having these things, to me, it looked more mature, more steady, more stable. So that was my story. That's what attracted me to older men. And as the years went on, during my midlife, during my time, like say in my 50s and 40s, I have dated younger guys. I'm gonna tell you about an incident. I met a guy online. This had to be in the 90s. I think he was 28, and I lied. In the ad, I had an ad online. I met him online, and in my ad, I had my age as 35. So to make a long story short, we dated for like 2 months. And yes, I lived a lie. I lied about it because I wasn't 35 at the time. I was 40. I think I was 45. So he was in my car and I was driving him to work. He was a bartender. So I was taking him to work, and it slipped out. It just slipped out that I forgot what I was talking about. I think I said something like, when you're in my age at 45, blah blah blah, and the guy freaked out. He was 28. He freaked out. You're 45? What the fuck I'm doing with a 45-year-old man? You told me you was 35. And I said, I never told you I was 35. He goes, it was in your ad, 35. And you're 45? I ain't going with nobody 45 years old. So after I dropped him off at work, that was the last I saw of him. So it was just the opposite. I think he wanted, I guess he thought 45 and 35 was a big 10 years. 35, I was already almost 6 years older than him. Then now, 40, I was older. So I had that experience under my belt. How there are young boys who are not into older men. So anyway, I'm having these cruising younger guys, and I just don't know what to do about it. I mean, I just don't, I just don't know what to do about it. The ones who have contacted me online are quite, how you say, quite good looking, quite well built. They're into big older men, big broody older men. They claim my size. And I'm looking at them and I'm saying, listen, you're 25, 24 years old. I said, I don't think I could keep up with a 25, 24-year-old. I mean, I don't think I ever try. I don't think I want to try to keep up with a 25, 24-year-old kid. But we don't know. One guy who contacted me, I was shocked because when he was going down, he was saying that he was into music from, actually he was into music from the 60s, and he was naming records and music that he liked was from the 60s. And I told him, I said, wow, that's music of my youth. And basically you could say he had an old soul. He even said, I have an old soul. I like stuff from the 50s and 60s, and that's why I like older men. And I thought about that. That might be an interesting date. Someone who is young to be into the like I said, music of my youth and stuff and things we did in the 50s. And well, anyway, so I'm in a dilemma, everybody. Do I break down and take away my prejudice that maybe there are mature 20-year-olds out there? Maybe there are substance to having a relationship with a kid who's 20-some years, 30-some years, my junior. But time will tell. So stay tuned. Maybe my next episode, I will give you more info of what is happening with this 72-year-old man and that 26-year-old kid. Thank you for listening to the craziness that lives inside my head.